Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Workshop 3 Building AI x Cardano Blockchain 101, a beginner friendly session as a part of the Cardano Hackathon, Asia IBW Edition 2025, with Hack to Skill as an innovation partner. In today's session, we'll explore the fundamentals of AI agents, intent based system, and how they interact with blockchain networks like Masumi. This is your gateway to building AI powered dApps on Cardano. Let me just quickly go through the total price pool for this hackathon is 65,000 stable coins, and we have extra bonus pools and rewards as well. For the timeline, today is the last day for the registration, idea submission, and team formation. If you haven't already formed your team or submitted your idea or registered, we request you to do so as soon as possible. We'll continue to support you through mentoring session leading up to the grand finale before on the Bangalore on 29th and 30th November. Let me introduce our expert speaker for today, Albina, Developer Relations at Masupi. She will guide you through the key concept and practical demos and answers your questions live.
Okay, thank you so much. Hello, everyone. I'm super excited to be here, and thank you to everyone who joined. Um, I'm wondering if I can see how many people joined. Is it because I'm not sure if I can see that here right now? Okay, hello. I want to first to ask couple questions to the participants. And first question will be if you've ever built an AI agent at all. And can you please comment plus if you have and minus if you never built an AI agent before? I just want to understand the level of the audience better. So I'll give it a couple minutes. Okay, cool. Hello. Yeah, if anybody just joined right now, I just asked the question if you have ever built an AI agent before, and if yes, then please comment a plus. If not, then comment a minus. But I already see that we have two people that built AI agents before, and I will also have another question. Have you ever built with Masumi in particular? And yeah, the same thing. But now, if you have built with Masumi, then comment one, and if you have never built with Masumi, then comment 0. Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay, perfect. Thank you so much for your replies. And okay, let's get to the workshop then. I'm gonna be presenting some slides. I'm just gonna start the slideshow now. And yes, so today we are going to talk about Masumi. And the Masumi is the ecosystem for decentralized agent coordination on Cardano. And today we are going to talk, our agenda for today is why do we need a protocol for AI agents at all? What is Masumi and what else is there in an ecosystem? In the ecosystem, how can you build with Masumi? And then I'm going to demo you a bunch of things that will be necessary for you to use or to do in order to have a successful submission. And I will tell you everything from how to build the agent to how to deploy it and how to test it. So yeah, let's get started. And if you will have any questions, feel free to just tell me because I don't see right now the chat, but just interrupt me with the sound, and I will be happy to reply anytime basically. Or in the end, I will also have some space for questions. So yeah, let's first start with a little example. And the example will be for a company named Lufthansa. I don't know if you ever heard of it or not, but it's like a air company in Germany. And let's imagine that a customer booked a flight from Berlin to Tokyo, and in the background, on the Lufthansa website, there is a team of agents that is preparing content for the remaining customer journey. And if we look under the hood of this agent, there will be one orchestration agent, which is the coordinator and task planner. And that coordinator will basically manage a bunch of other agents. And yeah, one of them will be doing the travel destination research. The other one will do some strategy for Lufthansa brand. The other one will do email marketing for this particular client, tailored to his like needs and interests. The other one, yeah, will do a research in hotel and resorts. The other one will, yeah, do CI and CD and the quality assurance and so on and so on. And there can be like tens or even hundreds of agents that will shape how the remaining customer journey will look for this particular person. And now, how do we actually achieve it in practice, right? And that's what we're going to talk about today. And this is just one example. Of course, there are many, many other things you can do with AI agents. But here we have four main questions that we will have to answer. And one of them is, how can agents find other agents to collaborate with? And then we want to know if this agent is who it claims to be. Next one is, can we trust what the agent says? And finally, how can agents monetize their efforts and do financial transactions with other agents? And we really have to answer these questions in order to facilitate such a collaboration as we described here. So that's where Masumi comes in. Masumi helps you with discovery of agents. It has decentralized open registry where you can register your agent, and through it you can also find other agents. When we are talking about the trust, we have decision logging. All the inputs and outputs of the agents are being hashed and securely stored on chain. The identity for the agents is this agent who it claims to be. Each agent has a decentralized identifier, so you can know for sure that this agent is the agent that you've used before, or this agent is deployed by this particular person, and so on. And the transactions is the payment, the stablecoin payments with smart contracts with refunds. And Masumi also has refund and dispute resolution logic already implemented in it. So this is just like a schema of how Masumi node looks. Masumi in itself is a set of two smart contracts on Cardano blockchain. One of them is the payment service and the registry service. We will look closely on it a little bit later in the workshop, in the demo. And then, agentic service connects to Masumi node or being registered there, and it can receive payments or hire other agents on Masumi, and everything is being settled on Cardano. And now I just want to highlight other things that we have in the ecosystem as well. Masumi node is the decentralized registry and payment service, and that's the thing that you are required to use for the hackathon. Then we also have Kodosumi, which is a runtime environment for AI agents, but this is like a more advanced product for people or companies that want to manage hundreds of agents, or it's needed mainly for scaling, for parallelization jobs. You definitely don't need to use Kodosumi on this hackathon. It's just I want to tell you that it's also an option, and especially if you will get in the business of building AI agents, then it's definitely something you should look into in the future. And then Sokosumi is a marketplace for AI agents. It's actually a very nice UI where anybody really can hire your agents. And I think the hiring logic in itself is very cool in a way that people that come from the outside, not from the crypto world, can buy credits with Stripe and with the fiat money. And under the hood, when they hire agents, this money are being transformed into credits that actually represent USDM on Cardano. So people do on-chain Cardano transactions without even knowing that they're interacting with blockchain, and I think that's amazing. Okay, so now let's talk about how you build with Masumi. First of all, Masumi is framework agnostic, so you can build with anything you like, any framework you are familiar with. I'm going to show you an example with Crew AI, but you can use anything else. And even NA10, if you are familiar with NA10, it's a very nice no-code like automation tool, and we have a custom node there. So if you would like to play around with it, you are totally welcome to use NA10. Um, yeah, and actually, we already had a workshop on NA10 that is uploaded online on Masumi YouTube. So if you will want to learn more about the NA10 node in particular and how to use it, feel free to find that. But today we are going to take a look at just like usual code development of the agent. Yeah. So, what exactly do you have to do in order to build a successful agent? Well, there are just a few steps, really. So, first, you have to build an agent that is compliant with MIP 003. The easiest way to do it is with NA10, but honestly, we have our quick start guide that is also really simple. And what is MIP 003? It's a Masumi improvement proposal, and you can find Masumi all the Masumi improvement proposals in documentation if you go to the docs and to MIPs. Here, MIP 003, Agentic Service API Standard. It basically means that your agent has to have these endpoints exposed in order to be compatible with the Masumi protocol. And it's really simple and maybe even simpler than it sounds because we already prepared these endpoints for you in the quick start guide. But if you want to read more about it and learn how it works, definitely head to the docs, and here you can learn everything about these endpoints. Okay. Yes, the second step is to deploy it with Kodosumi, but again, this is optional, and I would not recommend you to do it for this hackathon. It will not give you any additional points, but it will take a lot of time to learn it because Kodosumi is a really like advanced tool that is super useful when you expect a lot of load for your agent or you have many agents that need to be like working in the same time. So definitely don't bother with that right now, but in the future when you will be if you will decide to build many agents, then it's an amazing tool. But right now, it's not necessary. The third step is to run your own Masumi node, and the easiest is to use our railway template. It's really just a couple clicks to run your own node. But I'm going to show you everything how to do that as well. And then you register your agent on Masumi, and then you test Masumi on pre-prod. You can do it either manually with the endpoints, calling endpoints on, or with pre-prod Sokosumi. And I'm also going to show you how to do that. And then you need to sell the agent, and then you will choose how to do it. You can do it with Sokosumi, you can do it with the MCP server connections, or you can even create your own front end for your agent, which is also a really cool thing that I've seen on other hackathons is when people come up with their own UI or their own like business logic of how their agents should be working. It's a lot of fun to see how creative some people are. So I would recommend that as well. Okay. So now, just a little side note, please join our community. And if you will have any questions, and I mean really any questions, no matter how like simple or complicated they are, feel free to ask me. I will be looking forward to see your questions, and I will be happy to help you. And if you will get stuck, we can also hop on a call, and I will be happy to help you debug things because. Something that is also very valuable for me to get from you is a feedback of of what was your experience working with the protocol, and definitely don't hesitate to report any bugs or any problems that you will have. I will be really happy to resolve them with you. So yes, feel free to join the community, and also the links are in the document that I shared. I think that the yeah yes the docs that hack to skill just shared with you, please save these docs for you, and it's going to be you should definitely save this, and you will have a bunch of different like links that are super useful for you. Yes, thank you. Okay, yes, I see the questions. I will reply to the questions soon. I just want to finish this now. With this document, you have just a bunch of links here that are useful for you to for development. You have like the faucet here with the testnet tokens. On Sokusumi pre-prod, you will need to get some credits, and there are instructions on how to get to these credits. There are links to our community, and yeah, and then just some additional resources on how to build agents. Okay. Next on, yes, demo. But okay, let me check the questions real quick because I see that there is already a bunch of them. Um, okay, okay. Is the decision logging history for the entire lifetime of the agent available, or it changes based on version of agents? Okay, this is a very good question. And so the thing is that it really depends. So when you register the agent, and you only update it on where you deployed it, then it's going to stay all the same. But then if you re-register your agent again, then it's already like a different instance. It has a different identifier, so it will have a different history as well. So it really depends on how you update the version of the agent. If you need to re-register it for some reason on Masumi, then it will have a different history. And that's actually a really good question. Okay. Um, Okay, next one. Hopefully, the Masumi skills can be bridged to Kodosumi if one later needs to delve into advanced projects. Yes, so it's actually like completely different things. So I wouldn't say that you can use Masumi skills on Kodosumi because it's completely different, tech. Masumi is protocol on Cardano, and Kodosumi is a framework for scaling your agents that is not necessarily even used on chain, and you can use Kodosumi separately from Masumi and not use any on-chain stuff with it. Like, so it's but it's definitely compatible, and it's better to use them together. So yeah, you will definitely need the Masumi skills if you want to use Masumi with Kodosumi. Okay. Let's see the next one. How does building on NA10 would differ from building via some other framework? Would efficiency of the agent differ based on framework to framework, or Masumi handles all frameworks homogeneously? Okay, so look, NA10 is a no-code framework, right? So there, I think it's very nice that it gives like space for people that that don't know how to code, but they can still create agents that will be running on Masumi. I actually have one example here. I've built one agent that you can actually test it out. Oh, let me just log in here on my NA10. Okay, so I've built this X analyst agent, and I don't know if you have experience with NA10 or not, but it's mostly the I would say developer experience advantage that you don't have to know how to code. Although in my particular agent, I did use many code blocks where I had to put some custom code, but it's not necessary because you have some blocks that are already predefined for you, and you can just use them, different APIs and stuff. So yeah, I would say that the main advantage of NA10 is just the developer experience. But yeah, so, and the next question there was also about the efficiency of the agent based on the framework to framework. So Masumi handles all the frameworks the same, but efficiency of your agent depends on how efficiently you build your agent. If you build a good agent, it's going to be efficient. If it's going to be like slow or will not handle like things properly, then it's not going to be efficient. But yeah, when it comes to Masumi, I would say it doesn't really matter. Masumi is really agnostic, so it depends on what you prefer. And I would recommend NA10 if you are not very confident with coding the agents. But if you are confident, then I think it's more flexible when you actually code them. Depends on how deep or how advanced you want to go there. So I will really leave it up to you. Okay. Let's see the next one. Can we turn any AI agents into Masumi, or is it only the transaction-based agents or payment-related agents can be used in the cases? Okay. Look, so okay, so transaction-based agents. So basically, Masumi is mainly so the thing is that we have agents that are free agents. So if you want to hire your agent for free, or let people hire your agent for free, we recently introduced like free agents that don't take any money. So if that's your question, then yeah, you can have agents that don't receive any transactions. Our like base use case right now, I would say, is like the agents that we have on Sokusumi. And this is the pre-prod. Let me just open the Sokusumi app real quick, the mainnet one. And here you have, I will just quickly like showcase how it actually looks. Like this is the X analyst agent that I built on NA10 here. And how it works is that you input here your prompt, right? And here I have to input landing page URL and company X account username, and then the job runs. I'm not going to run it now because it takes a few minutes, so I don't want to waste time on it. And I already have some job that I did before. I just want to show you. Yeah, so I hire the agent, it runs, and then it returns the output. And that's basically the base use case for the agent. Right now, we don't have a human in the loop implemented, but in the future, there will be like more ways of interacting with the agents. And also, potentially, you can do like an orchestration agent. Here is that you create one agent that hires other agents. Right now, we don't have like A2A payments directly implemented, but you can just use Masumi protocol and use the endpoints to hire agents the same way as you would hire it as a human, but you just make other agent hire it by calling the endpoints. So basically, okay, it's only transaction-based agents. Payment-related agents can be use cases. Okay, so yeah, basically, it doesn't have to be only payments, and it doesn't have to be on transactions. You can have free agents, but yeah, maybe you can give me a closer example so I can reply to your question better, because right now I'm not sure. Probably you might want to put an agent on chain just to have the agent identifier, so you can prove, yeah, this is agent is like is my agent. It has this agent identifier, so make sure you use this one, right? Um, that can be also the use case here. Okay, do you see ZK-ML of model-proof systems like ZK snarks, generated inference proofs becoming a requirement for trustless AI interactions over Cardano? Damn, that's a very like advanced ZK question. Um, I'm not really sure about this because I don't know much about like ZK in particular. I do know that we definitely need like some more privacy in Masumi in the future, because right now everything is being open, because Cardano is an open ledger. But when you interact with AI agents, especially when it's like sensitive information, even the fact that you hire the agent can be considered as sensitive information, even though the inputs and outputs are hashed. So definitely we do need more privacy, and I think maybe in the future we can also have Masumi on midnight, because it will be by default private. But yeah, if you want to talk more about like ZK stuff, feel free to DM me, and I will probably ask you a couple questions about that as well, because I'm really not an expert in zero knowledge state of tech, but it's definitely something I would love to explore. So yeah, feel free to text me. Okay, is Masumi only the monetization layer? Well, no, it's not only the monetization layer. As I mentioned before, it's also the registry. So it's also discovery of agents, and it's also the identity. And yeah, so your agents can have like, yeah, identity and decision logging for the yeah for auditing, like when you can hash the input and the output, put it on chain, and make sure that your agent was really hired with this prompt and it really outputs this result, and you can be sure that it was the case and not tampered with, basically. So yeah, it's not only payments, and again, you can use Masumi without any payments. You can make your agents free, but of course payments is like a big topic, and it's like one of the main use cases for Masumi. Okay. Okay, I hope I answered all the questions. If you will have more questions, feel free to drop them. I'm going to go ahead to the demo now. And yeah, let's see. So, of course, the main resource for you all will be documentation. And yeah, we're going to start just basically with this step-by-step guide. And the first thing that you will have to do is to build the agent with MIP 003 compliance. And yeah, if you want to code the agent, I would definitely recommend you to go to this From Zero to Hero with Example Agent Guide. And this is like extremely simple. I'm going to open a cursor and just show it to you real quick. I hope you can see this well, and I'm just going to open a new window. Okay. No, cursor wants me to connect to Linear. Not now. Yeah, so I'm gonna go back to the demo, and now you just need to clone the repo. I'm gonna clone it right in cursor, so I'm not gonna use that. Okay. So now when I have the repo cloned, and I'm in the folder, I can just go ahead and initiate my virtual environment and install all the required packages here. Okay. So next thing we'll have to do is to copy the example environment variables to a real environment variables file. Okay, and now let's take a look at the environment variables. So the first one here is the payment service URL, and you will be able to input it here after you deploy or run locally your payment service, the Masumi payment service or Masumi node. It's basically kind of interchangeable things, but terms, because because you don't need to run the Masumi registry yourself. Usually, you only run the payment service. Masumi node is kind of a combination of the registry and the payment service, but payment service is something that you run yourself, and registry is just being run. Yeah, it's just like a smart contract. So the payment service, we're going to put it here later. The payment API key, you will create it yourself. You will put it here. Agent identifier is something that you are going to input here after you register your agent. And now we have here the payment amount and the payment unit. And the seller wiki, it's all going to be generated in your payment node. And then, yeah, OpenAI API key, obviously, it's just for your actual business logic to run properly, and network pre-prod, because we'll be testing. When you will be deploying your agent on mainnet, you can change it to mainnet, but for the purpose of this hackathon, pre-prod is sufficient. You don't have to deploy it on mainnet, although you can if you want to. Okay. Yeah. So now we can start. The only thing that I will really need right now is to add my OpenAI code, and I will actually to test the agent. Yeah, I will not need my payment service URL just right now, but I will need it later. So let me just real quick grab my API key. Okay, guys, I really trust you and hope you will not use my API key, but yeah, I'm gonna disable it later. Okay. Let's see. So, and now let's take a look at the code and what we actually have here. So, main.py file is where you have your like MIP 003 compliant endpoints. And there are basically, I think, 4 or 5 endpoints that you really need to have. And yeah, the first one is to start the job. And start job does literally what it says. It starts the job of your crew. And again, this example uses Crew AI framework, but you can change it to any other framework. You can have these endpoints as they are, and you will only have to change the this place here. Let me actually find the crew definition. We have our crew definition here, and this research crew. So I can look for a research crew. Yeah, so you will literally only have to change here how you execute your task. And then after the job starts, and when it's like started successfully, your agent receives the payment, it will start the actual job. But this is really the only like thing that you will have to change in this file. And here we have the start job endpoint, then we have the yeah, this is just a function, then we have the status endpoint, the availability endpoint, and input schema endpoint, and health. And you can find descriptions of all these endpoints in the docs. But now I'm just going to show you how they work and what is like the most important to note for you here. So yes, the research crew has your business logic here, and this one is just really simple. It just does like it just performs like a call to OpenAI to see to make some research. But this is really just for the testing purpose. You can make it anything you want. And there are two ways how you can test your agent. And right now, I'm gonna test it with just Python main.py, and that will run agent without running the actual server API. So you will not be able to call the API, but the agent will start running locally for you. And with API right now, it's not going to work because it must be connected to the payment service. And now we don't have the payment service running yet, right? The Masumi one. So we're just going to test it like this and see if the agent works. So first, like build the agent and make sure that it does what you want it to do and that it performs the job correctly. And yeah, my agent is already running. And after it does what you want it to do, then you can start testing it with Masumi, and you can test it on Sokosumi as well. I'm going to show you how to test it there. Or yeah, you can build your own custom UI for it. Okay, so yeah, my agent performed the task. Perfect. Okay, the agent works. I'm really happy about it. So now I can stop this and I can go ahead and try to run it with the API, but it's okay. Yeah, now it runs with the API, but I will not be able to hire the agent because the um, start job endpoint requires the connection to the payment service. But here we can see if the agent is actually available. And this, for example, this availability endpoint is really important for Sokosumi because when you will register your agent on Masumi Preprod, it also will display on Sokosumi, and it queries your agent periodically for this availability endpoint. And if it's available, then it's going to display it here in the list of all the agents on Sokosumi. Okay. So next thing that you will have to do is to run Masumi node, and the easiest and the fastest way is to do it is to use Railway template. And here you can go to the installation guide in Masumi documentation, and here you have three ways how you can install Masumi node. So first one is Docker Compose, but I think it's probably the best way, but it's not ideal for a hackathon because here you will have to self-host it by yourself, and it's a little bit like more complicated. You can do it if you want to, and that's fine as well. But personally, the couple clicks way to do it is to use Railway template. You go to the docs, you go to the Railway template tab, and then you just click deploy on Railway. And you will go to Railway. It's like a hosting platform where you can have templates, and then you can host things really easily. And you can click on deploy now. And here the database is already fine, but here you will have to configure only one environment variable on the Masumi payment service. And here you will have to put your block frost API key pre-prod. because you will start with pre-prod most likely with testing, and yeah, then you can go to block frost, you can copy your API key, and yeah, you can just paste it here. I mean, where was that? Yes, you can just paste it here, and then you click on save config, deploy, and it will deploy. And it will deploy the Masumi payment service for you, and that's it. There's nothing else you have to do. It's really that easy and simple. I already have my version deployed here on Railway, and this is how it looks after it deploys. It like takes a couple minutes for everything to be deployed, but then this is how it looks. And now you can find in the settings, you can find the endpoint on how you can actually open your payment service. And here you go to the admin dashboard, and that's how your Masumi admin dashboard looks like. And here you have all the wallets, you have all your agents, you have all your like test ADA, and here you have all your AI agents that you registered. So yeah, this is basically what you will have to work with. As well, you can check out the docs, is the Swagger specification. Um, you will probably not have to actually use this. This is to register your agent or to create new API keys, or yeah, basically most of these things you can do by using the UI on the admin interface. So yeah, you will not most likely need this, but you can explore this and you can use it if you want to as well. Okay, so now when you have your Masumi node running, you can start with registering the agent, but first you have to actually deploy your agent, right? You have to make sure that your agent runs online somewhere and not on your local machine, because you will probably want the judges to be able to test your agent. Of course, in the submission, if you will not be able to provide the like working version of the agent of the time of submission, please do record a video with how it works, with showing how it works. But ideally, it would be perfect if we could actually test your agent. So yeah, either way, first you need to deploy your agent, and how you deploy it, it really is up to you. Personally, I'm using DigitalOcean, and I deploy the agent just like a normal app. And here, later, instead of writing all these environment variables here in the .env file, I just go to the settings, and in the settings here I can update the environment variables somewhere here. Yes, here I can update environment variables with all my things. So okay, so right now I have my AI agent. Actually, now let's say that you've built your agent here, you tested it, and you deployed it online. I'm not going to go through all these steps because here you really have to just implement your business logic for your agent, what it has to do. Okay, and then you deployed your agent on your cloud service provider of choice, and now you have to update the environment variables. And here in the payment service, I put the URL of my railway deployment. And also, please do not forget to add /API/v1 here, because it's going to be calling the API. Then I have my Masumi payment API key, and you can create new API keys in the admin interface. If you go here to the API keys, you can create a new one. And you basically needed to have read and pay permissions. You don't need to limit the usage and make it only for pre-prod. And then you create the API key, you copy it and paste it there. Okay, the agent identifier you will input after you register your agent, and we will go through this in a minute. And then payment amount is the amount of how much you want your agent to cost. And if you want your agent to work on Sokosumi, it must accept USDM token. Right now on Sokosumi, it works only with USDM because USDM is easily convertible to the credits that I mentioned before. But with ADA, if you will register your agent with ADA, it's not going to be displayed here. in the pre-prod Sokosumi, you will not be able to test it through pre-prod Sokosumi. So make sure it uses USDM, and to use USDM, you will need to use this payment unit here. If you use ADA, then you just say Lovelace here, but if you use USDM, you need to use this value for the payment unit. I'm going to actually post it here in the chat. So if you can please, organizers, post it. Yeah, please post it in the comments chat. Okay. Yeah, let's see next thing. The seller wiki, you will have to put the wiki of your selling wallet. And yes, there are 3 wallets that you will actually have, or like 2 by default, but you can add a 3rd one. And the seller, this is the seller wallet. If you open it, you will find your wiki here. You will have to copy and paste it there. And yes, in order to register an agent, you need to fund your selling wallet. And you can fund it with the faucet on Preprod. And there is a link for faucet on the in this document. This is the faucet. You go here, you paste here your selling wallet address, and yeah, you claim tokens. And then in a while, you will receive these tokens on your address, and then you will be able to register your agent. Okay, we were looking at the environment variables. Yeah, I have the opening API key, the network preprod, and then this is just an additional API key that is needed for this particular agent because it uses this Fred API. But yeah, in your case, you can add other environment variables that you will need for your agent there, of course. Okay, so now say you have the agent deployed, it's working, and here I can, for example, test it as well, that I go to this URL of my agent when it's deployed, and I can check the availability endpoint, because availability is one of the MIP3 endpoints, and I can see that my agent is right now available. And actually, this agent is registered. I registered it before. This is the endpoint that you can see here for this agent. It's named, this name is CS Hack Test. I registered it for another hackathon before. And I can see this agent here on Preprod Sokosumi. Here it is. So I can hire it from the Preprod Sokosumi, and you can do that as well. So if you will register the agent properly, you will be able to hire it. And before, did I ever hire it? I'm just going to hire something. Okay. I just want to show you that now I'm hiring it. And here in the runtime logs of this agent, I will actually see some incoming requests here. There's a bunch of like availability, job status. Oh yeah, this is the thing that I just hired. What is the poverty rate? And now this agent is waiting for the payment on Masumi, and then it's going to start working as soon as it receives the payment from Sokosumi. Like Sokosumi handles the payment loop here. And yeah, this is the report that it's going to create later. And what I actually really like about Sokosumi is that you can also export as PDF, and it generates, okay, right now it doesn't work. I'm actually not sure if it works on Preprod, but on the mainnet one, it generates really nice PDFs. But yeah, it doesn't really matter for the hackathon, to be honest. Okay, so it's still checking for the payment. It's gonna take a while. And while it's checking, I want to actually show you how to register your agent. So I will copy my agent's URL. And yeah, you need to make sure that on this agent URL is your your MIP003 compliant API is actually available. So I will test that the availability endpoint works, and it works, and perfect. I'm just going to copy the URL here. So here I'm going to the dashboard, and I'm going to go to the AI agents, and I'm going to click on register the agent. Here you have to input your API URL. The agent is, I will just say something like AI Hack Test. make sure to name your agent properly though. Here I will add some description just to test. And the wallet, I will add the default wallet. It was created by seeding. And here I will pick USDM. I will say 7 tags, just test. Okay. And that's it. Now I'm going to register the agent, and it's going to take a while when it's settled on chain, especially on pre-prod. It takes even longer than on mainnet. But yeah, we can wait a couple of minutes. Okay, let me check if you guys have any questions here. Okay, no new questions, but yeah, feel free to ask anything. But yeah, if you want to ask anything else in the future, there is this document that you should definitely, yeah, save for yourself with all the links. And if you will need to get some credits on Sokosumi pre-prod, you can just use this fake credit card that will get you like a lot of credits on pre-prod, which is like the testnet version of Sokosumi. So you will be able to test your agent as much as possible. Okay, let's see what's up with my agent. It's still pending the registration. Yeah, it's gonna take a couple of minutes basically.
So since we're waiting for the agent to work, Albina, how about I ask you a few questions?
Yeah.
There are some questions that our participants has pre-submitted to us
Mm-hmm.
uh, that I would
Yeah.
like to check with you as well.
Yes. Yes, please. Let's do it.
Sure. Just give me a moment. It's about formal verification and autonomous decisions. Given Cardano's emphasis on formal verification, what does a formal verification look like when applied to agent behaviors that rely on probabilistic inference rather than deterministic code?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Okay. And by that you mean like, okay, how do we prove that this agent um yeah made the output that it made? Like honestly, I think that right now the version of like of Masumi that we have is not that advanced to actually prove the inference and all this kind of stuff. Right now we only store the input to the agent and the output to the agent hashed on chain. And I feel like your question is really far in the future, but it's a really definitely valid question to ask. And again, it's like the same cases and the ZK Snark's question. I would love to discuss it more in depth, and maybe it's something we can look into in Masumi in the future. So yeah, right now I can't really give you a good answer to that, but feel free to connect with me and let's chat.
Okay. Another question I have, that is Cardano's EUTXO model offers determinism and parallelism, but also introduces complexity for stateful autonomous agents. How do you envision agent framework evolving to work natively within EUTXO constraints without compromising agent
Mhm.
autonomy?
Okay, right now Masumi is not built for autonomous agents, I would say. Right now it's more on the like hiring basis. When you build an agent, yeah, and it runs, but we don't yet have a system for agents that are being completely autonomous. And I think in the future, there will be some more advanced A2A payments, like for example X402 right now, right, and other A2A protocols that will be like much faster and easier to use with autonomous agents. Um, if you want to talk about like the Cardano in particular, I can connect you with our engineer that develops like the smart contracts on Cardano, because again I'm not that much of an expert of the Cardano protocol itself, but I would definitely love to explore this topic more. So yeah, that's it. I think that in the future for the autonomous agents, there will be some better payments that will be like settled on Cardano, but something like 402 that is like more flexible. So yeah.
Great. Yeah. Another one I have, Albina, is what are the core technical differences between intent based architectures in AI agents and Cardano's transaction validation model? And how do you see these eventually converging?
Okay, can you send that question? I need to read it again. Like that's a really like complicated question personally, especially taking the fact that it's almost 3 a.m. here. But yeah, it's fine. Can you please send me the question?
Yes, posting it in the comments so I can pin it as well. Yeah,
Mhm.
there you go.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I definitely don't know answer to this question, and I see that this the person who asked all these questions is like already asking some really, really advanced and really cool questions to discuss, and I think it would be um, more on like a protocol level stuff that you might be interested in discussing with like with our Cardano engineer or maybe even with Patrick, the founder. But yeah, just feel free to contact me. I don't know right now.
Sure, sure. That's it. These are the questions that I had, Ilpina. Thank you. Thank you for answering them.
Okay, yeah, I mean, I did my best. Let's see if the agent is actually got registered. Okay, yeah, it actually got registered, and now it can. Now I need to copy the agent ID, the agent identifier here, because if the agent identifier is not going to match, then the agent is not going to be displayed on Sokusumi. So I copied this agent ID, and I'm going to go back to the AI agent that I have here, and I'm going to change it right in the agent. The identifier here and like the oh wait, did I actually yeah. Oh yeah, okay, perfect. Okay, I'm going to save it, and now this agent is going to be redeployed, and that old version with the old agent identifier is not going to be displayed on Sokusumi anymore. It's going to be unavailable. Now it's still available, but it should be unavailable in a minute. And then the other, yeah, now it's not available anymore because there is no agent with this agent ID anymore. And after Sokosumi, it's like sends some requests to see if this agent is available with this agent identifier, and it's going to see it. So let's see. It's not there yet, but yeah, it takes a few minutes for the agent to get here to the pre-prod. Okay. Oh yeah, it's still being deployed, so it's going to be displayed there after only after it's deployed. Okay, yeah, this is going to take a couple minutes, but it's basically the last thing that I wanted to show you is how you actually register your agent and how you can then test it on Sokusumi. So after it's going to be deployed with the new agent ID, we're going to see it here, and then we're going to be able to hire it from here, and that's it. Okay, cool. Now it's deployed. And now we should start seeing the requests coming here from Sokusumi. Okay, yeah, we're already getting some status for the job requests, but this is for the old jobs when I had this agent with different agent identifier, basically different version of the agent, but it's still because I'm using the same URL for different agents, which is not a good practice, but I'm doing it for the testing purposes. So yeah. It's not here yet, but yeah, we didn't see any availability requests yet as well. So sometimes it happens that it doesn't like refresh the list of the agents for a while, and I'm not sure if there is not an issue with that right now, but should be right. Should be working.
Um, we have another question, Elbina, is what is the difference between Sukomi and Masumi?
Kusumi? Yeah, 100%. So Sokusumi is this app that I'm showing you right now. It's the app. This is the pre-prod version, which is a test net, and this is the mainnet. Is a marketplace for AI agents where anybody can come and hire any agents that they like with the credits, and yeah, basically the user interface. And Masumi is this here. I'm showing the admin interface of Masumi. It's the payment and registry layer on blockchain. This is what only developers see, and this is the infrastructure for those AI agents to be to process the payments, to hire them, to do dispute resolutions like refunds, and for the agents to be discovered as well. So that's what Masumi is. And actually, if you go to the docs, I think there is a pretty nice picture that also is in presentation, but here this is the Sumi ecosystem. Masumi is the blockchain layer, and Sokusumi is the UI. So that's it. Okay. I'm not receiving the availability endpoints right now, but I'm not sure why, to be honest. And it's possible that maybe it's somehow disabled, and because there was some update. But it's okay. If you will get to this point when you already registered your agent on Masumi and your agent is not being displayed on Sokusumi, just text me. And if you will have an issue with that, and I will help you. But I will check with my team on Monday if there is any like outage with this, because I'm not sure right now why I'm not receiving the availability endpoint requests. But it's fine. If you will get to this point, it's already really good. So yeah, again, I'm always there to help if you will have any other questions. Okay, so that is pretty much it for this workshop. If you will get to this point when you built an agent, you deployed your own Masumi node, and you registered your agent on Masumi, and maybe you even tested it on Sokusumi, or you built your custom UI, it's already a successful submission for the hackathon. And then, of course, you will be also judged based on how like creative your idea is, how technically like feasible it is, and there are some other judgment criteria that we will look at. But this is like the baseline. If you will not have your agent like registered on Masumi, then it's not going to be a valid submission for the hackathon. Okay, that's it from me right now. Thank you everybody who joined. I really appreciate your attention and all your questions. And yeah, definitely the person who asked these really deep questions, I would be really happy to discuss them one on one because I think they are really valid, but they are a little bit out of the scope of this hackathon. But
Hmm.
yeah, still worth it talking about them for sure. So yeah,
Yeah. Thank you for being with us today. And a big thank you to our speaker, Albina, for her invaluable insights today. If you need any help or you have any questions, we have already shared a doc where, there is a Telegram link and Discord link as well, where you can directly get in touch with Albina and get these things, your questions sorted out. If not, you can always contact us anytime at mail support at the rate hacktoskill.com. And we just let's take one more question, Albina. I think Senthil have a question is.
sure. For the idea submission today, are we expecting the agents to be on Masumi? Of course, for the idea, you don't have to them to have on Masumi. This is what you will do when you will develop. But keep in mind that your agent should be on Masumi when you will be developing it. You definitely mention it in the submission. But yeah, this is just your idea, which will be judged right now. So yeah.
Thank you. I
Mhm.
Yeah. Thanks everyone. Thank you for the great workshop.
Okay. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Goodbye.